similar story happens with Lot. Lot, the scripture says in Genesis, when Abraham walks out of the Ur of Chaldeans, which is a place of ungodliness, idol worship, God calls him out. Lot jumps on the wagon. Lot just joins his uncle Abraham, and Bible calls Lot. See, when I read the Old Testament and I see Lot going to Sodom, then getting pulled out of Sodom, going back to Sodom, and I'm looking at Lot and I kind of like have this thing like a hashtag backslider. Hashtag just not serious. But look what the Bible calls Lot, righteous man, twice. Don't see Lot as a heathen. Lot was a righteous man. He was called by God righteous, and he had a relationship with Abraham. It's like symbolic when you have a relationship with Christ. But watch this. Lot was tormented in his soul. And scripture says his torments were so serious, they were day in and day out. Serious oppression. Now I want you to watch this, where he was tormented. Not in his spirit, in his soul. So I want to make something very clear. It's possible to be righteous and tormented. It's possible to be righteous and be oppressed in your soul by depression, by suicidal tendencies, by anxiety, by fear, by demonic voices. And you might say, where is this coming from? You have to understand two things about Lot. His background was idolatry. He came from a background where they worshipped idols. These were not just different cute religions, these were demonic things. So his bondage was rooted in his background. The second thing you have to know about Lot is this: his daddy died when he was very young. So there was also fatherlessness wound. So guess who took his dad? His grandpa took him under his wing, and guess what happened with his grandpa? He also died at a very young age. So poor Lot literally gets like moved from one house, his dad dies, then he goes lives with his grandpa takes care of him, and then Terah, his grandpa, he dies too. And Lot just goes from one father to another father, and there's this fatherlessness that exists in Lot, and now he's glued to Abraham. But even then he doesn't stay very long. I don't know diagnosis of Lot, but I know one thing: Lot had some problems. Even though he was called righteous, even though he had a relationship with Abraham, the scripture says he was oppressed and he was tormented regularly. But I want you to notice one thing about Lot that I want to highlight is in Genesis it says this: Lot was with Abraham. A little conflict happens with Abraham, and Lot decides to distance himself from Abraham. Abraham speaks of the church, where a lot of people take what Lot did. They came to church, they got saved, and instead of getting delivered, they're getting disagreements. One of the biggest things the devil will use not to get you delivered is disagreements in the local church. Disagreement was, honestly, he had a very basic good reason: there was not enough room. It was too hot, not enough seats, and there was no parking lot. That's exactly what happened with Lot. He had a legitimate reason, but see, God wanted to deliver him. Instead of getting delivered, he had a disagreement, and that disagreement created distance between him and Abraham. He didn't hate Abraham, he just took a little distance from Abraham. He had no desire to go to Sodom and Gomorrah. He just wanted to take a distance from Abraham. And see, sometimes that's what church people do, is we come to church, and you will realize one thing about church people: they are people. They make mistakes. Sometimes they're a little bit nasty. Sometimes they're a little bit religious. Sometimes they judge you. Sometimes they look at you funny. Sometimes they give you prescription that they own, do not subscribe to. And church people can be crazy and a little bit funny, and that's why you have to stay close to Jesus no matter who is around you. No matter of the church drama. No matter of the church gossip.